cozy. Oh, we're going? Oh. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Mumbo Jumbo Community Conversations. My name is Chinyelu. I'll be our conversation facilitator today, co-facilitated by my good friend Khalid here. And I guess like a special welcome just because this is the first Mumbo Jumbo of the year. And that being the case, we thought it'd be a good idea to assemble a few members of the Kheprw team, Kheprw community, and just talk about some of the, uh, you know, great successes and lessons from 2024, as well as and fantastic failures, as Alvin said. Well, that's what, lessons, I try to use gentler language. As well as some of, what we're all looking forward to for 2025. So that'll be the conversation topic for the day. We'll kind of keep it loose, just bounce the mic around. But of course, first, as always, we got to get started with our check-in. For anybody who is nobody on the Zoom right now, but for anybody who's maybe watching the YouTube live stream or anybody who's watching the recording in the future, who's maybe not familiar with the way we do things here at the Kepler Institute, we have a practice, a cultural practice that we like to uphold around here, called the check-in ritual, and that's just basically something that we do at the beginning of all of our formal gatherings, to make sure that we're maintaining an awareness of each other, of each other's needs, where everybody's at, and yeah, that we're maintaining that people first sort of idea that has done so much for us over the years. So what that typically looks like is everybody will give a number and a color that are both supposed to kind of represent like how they're feeling at the moment, and then there'll be a sort of like a icebreaker question as well that's designed to help us get to know each other a little bit on a deeper level. So without further ado, does anybody have any ideas for a check-in question today? Check-in question, Colin? You pick.
Um, uh, what was the favorite part of your day? What was your favorite part of your day, if you had one? Mm, that's right. Okay. My favorite part of my day was probably science class. Because it was really quiet because everyone was paying attention, and I really enjoyed it. Right. Uh, Oh, my number is a 6. My color is a red, and is that it, right? Okay.
Is that as loud as it goes?
All right. Okay. Uh, who do I pass to now? Do you want to go so long?
Hi, Mimi. Feeling like a icy blue, probably a 7.99. And I think my favorite part of my day was eating some cheese Chex Mix and candied pecans during my grants meeting, because snacking keeps me productive. And I'll pass it to Tom so we can finish off this side over here.
Hey, I'm a Snowflake White 8.75 today, and my favorite part of the day was the sunset at OVC. It was just spectacular, just beautiful. So I'll pass it to Helman.
Feeling like a sunshine 9, and my favorite part of the day was probably going on a couple walks in the snow. It was sunny.
Thanks. You trying to touch my hand?
Hello, Em. Would you
What
like to
up,
check
G?
in?
Do I want to check in? Sure.
Number,
I'll
color,
check.
favorite part of your day.
Oh, shit. The favorite part of my day. Well, my color today is Snow White 9. That's my number. I've had a lot of favorite parts of my day, but I think the highlight today was getting feedback from the dance that the oh shit, who's calling me out? The dance that took place with the next gen leaders in Signal. I heard about it. They was kicking ass and taking names. Hold on. Who's calling?
Deidre. Yeah. Okay, no worries. Bye.
Pass it somewhere.
Uh,
I had to
all
buy.
righty. You take it, Mimi.
I'm gonna invite her to this call. Come on.
No,
What do you want me to do?
my bad.
I don't know if Mimi can hear right now.
No.
I'll go ahead and
2A.
I'll go ahead and take it then. I'm feeling like a lime green 7 right now. And my favorite part of my day, I've been doing a lot of writing. Been working, had a idea for a short story right when the snowstorm started, and I've been really locked in, and I'm making good progress. So if I don't have it done today, tomorrow, I'm gonna have it done by Friday, and that's got me really excited. And I will pass it to Mimi. Mimi, are you there?
Hello. Yes, I'm sorry. I've been like multitasking like approximately
All
seven
good.
in the last 60 seconds. But hello, greetings. Feeling like a silver with like a gold shimmer on it, like a 8.5. And man, it was an amazing year. Um, it's very hard to pick, but I will in this moment go for the eclipse. That was like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And it was cool seeing how humans in this moment were impacted by like seeing something that was like very like clearly like out of their control, just like a really cool natural phenomenon. It seemed to really like move a lot of people in a way they didn't expect, and I enjoyed that.
We're gonna have to come back to that because I low-key forgot about that. But the question was, what was your favorite part of your day?
Oh, I'm sorry.
All good.
um Favorite part of today. It was a very good day. Um do. Honestly, probably just like getting back up to the Alchemy CWB, um, the Community Wealth Building Center. It's just a really special space. It's crazy to be there and have it, come as far as it has and imagining what's gonna take place there this year. Yeah, it felt good. And I'll pass it to Tara.
Hi, I'm feeling like a periwinkle 8, and I have no idea what the check-in question is.
Favorite part of your day?
Mm, so many things. I guess mine would be my yoga, meditation, and tea, drinking tea this morning. And am I the last one?
I don't think Agila has gone.
Pass to Agila.
Hmm. Hey y'all, feeling like a midnight sky blue 8, and you caught me right as I had like stuffed an entire rice ball in my mouth. Mm, mm. My favorite part of the day was actually a very, I would say, interesting conversation happening over textual communications, and I'll leave it at that.
Were you using Signal?
There were signals set.
Hell yeah. And Jeru, you wanna run up here and grab the mic, or you got a mic over there? You can. Yeah, he's getting hooked up. 1 second. God, I'm about to do it.
Y'all hear me now?
Mhm.
Okay, beautiful. Hey, everybody, it's Ru in the back doing the tech. I'm feeling like a red 9. It would be a 10, but I still have not eaten, and I'm gonna pass away right now. Uh, 8 days into 2025. My highlight of the day has been about 5 seconds ago when I realized that the signal chat was such a highlight for everybody's day. I'm glad I could I'm glad I could bring some joy and merriment to everybody's lives. That just makes me feel real good.
We'll be taking tips next time. But awesome, wonderful. Thanks everybody for checking in. And you know how it goes. If we have folks who join us here in the room, or oh, did Tara go already?
Mhm.
Okay, great, 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 great. So yeah, if we have folks that join us here in the room or on the Zoom as the conversation goes on, we'll just look for the natural pauses of the conversation and give them an opportunity to do their check-ins as well. But for now, I say let's go ahead and get into the conversation. So I've
Let's
got our so I have on my screen our social media feed from the past year. I'll be using that kind of like as an aid to kind of help me remember some of the stuff that we got to this year. But I don't know if does anybody, we could start it chronologically. We could start in January. If anybody has anything that's just sitting on the top of their head is a high note they wanna mention from the year, we could start there. So how do folks
Hey
feel?
man, just give us some direction, boss.
All right, well, let's just start in January. Let's start early in the year. Anybody got any memories from early in the year that they'd like to share or like to speak to? Oh yeah, yeah, maybe top three from the first 3 months of the year. I would say one for me would definitely be February was when we officially launched the Kheprw Leadership Academy, which was an exciting sort of experiment, testing the waters in terms of a new sort of strategy or, for just, doing workshops and teaching some valuable skills about how to, be a successful community organizer, community leader, community wealth builder. So that was definitely a good one. Um, I also remember that that was around the time that the indie toxic heritage piece came out. That was something that our good friends Liz Kreider Reed over at IU was working on. Just looking at the lasting effects of pollution and environmental degradation in the city. Um, yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Yeah, Z just mentioned that our good friend Aguila, there was a book that came out that Aguila had a piece in, so big snaps to Aguila. And then I don't know if I'd exactly call this a high note, but I would say it's significant. But early in the year was about the time that we found out about Mama Nini's passing as well. So, that was definitely a big thing in the community. Yeah, a lot of time spent, just gathering and connecting with her family and just, reflecting and talking about like her impact on Kepper's journey over the years. So that was definitely really big. But yeah, I'll pass it. Anybody else got anything they wanna speak to? Oh, hey, hey, Mrs. Fair, welcome. The check-in question is favorite part of your day.
Um, Somewhere between 10 p.m. and about 12 or 1.
10
Um,
p.m. or 10 a.m.?
10 p.m. and 1 a.m. Just kind of laying there, thinking about the day, nobody's calling most times. Nobody is sending a text most times. And in the quiet of I can see why people stay up all night long. You can really focus then. So my favorite part of my day is peace and quiet. No interruptions or interjections into
Now,
that. It's
Paula,
just,
the
yeah.
question was, what's your favorite part of today?
Oh, today, oh, let's see. That started at midnight. So somewhere between midnight and 1, when I for sure was in REM 4. Up until about 1, I don't reach REM 4 if I get there.
All right, thank you.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
thank you, Mrs. Fair. And yeah, we had just gotten started with basically we're gonna do it in slices. So we're looking at the first quarter of the year, January through March, and just kind of going over anything that stands out from those few months that we'd like to speak to or uplift right now. I mentioned,
Is that TPH
yeah, we got
in the
Tom right
swivel
here.
chair? Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Hey, Tom, how you
Yeah.
doing, babe?
He said
What do you say? As usual, I'm good. Wonderful.
he's, he said you got to give your color and number too.
Oh, hey, listen, I'm going to shock you all. You ready?
Yes.
Yellow 10.
Yeah, there it
Gee.
is. There it is. But yeah, I had just mentioned the Kheprw Leadership Academy that we launched earlier in the year. I mentioned the Indie Toxic Heritage Project, which went out earlier in the year. I mentioned Mama Nini's passing as well, which was something pretty relevant that happened earlier in the year. So I don't know if anybody has anything that they want to say about that. I offer you the mic.
We did our like annual Kheprw retreat and January
Yeah.
last year, and like we came together at OVC with a bunch of people and reflected on like where we came from, where we're going. And then we also did a talent show, and like a bunch of our team members got to express their art. Agua did like
Yeah.
in like her classical style, which was
Was
really
that the
cool.
first? Was that the first quarter of 2024?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It was a
January.
part of the retreat. Talent show was part of the retreat.
Okay, I remember now. Thank you.
I
Yeah,
remember.
Rob did the Just Coping comedy set.
Yes.
Yeah,
That needs to be deleted off the YouTube.
probably. You should probably burn that. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
definitely.
That's a good one, Mimi. I've forgotten about that one. We had some pretty good conflict transformation practice at the retreat as well.
True.
I'll leave it
Very
there.
true.
I'll leave it
Yeah.
there.
Hey,
Yeah, yeah.
but I'm not sure if they were effective.
Hey, it's
We'll
about the effort, you know?
we'll come back to that later another time.
I feel like we were also like settling more into like the library and like launching this
hmm
of gathering all the books and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. J. Rue said, "Don't make him remember moving all those fucking shelves." Oop, let me not swear on the live stream.
I was trying to shout out your efforts. So salute.
Tom, would you please speak to, we decided
Miss Fair,
at OVC.
Miss Fair,
Yes.
would you? I know you're the OG in the room, but would you quit bossing people around in space? We just getting
I
started.
said would and you.
But let Chin kind of walk it forward.
Okay, okay.
And if
Chin, ask him about it.
If Tom don't step up, if Chin don't step up, do what you got to do.
Prompt.
It might be a good opportunity to transition though into the second quarter because that was when we had the Tree Love, our second annual Tree Love. So I'll pass it to Tom if you want to give any reflections on that, man.
Oh man, that was not good move.
Tom, don't forget to mention the first quarter
hold on.
and how we jumped
Chin,
off the
I got the
greenhouse.
ball back to you, and you let the OG scare you into getting Tom on the mic right away. I respect it. I respect it.
Thank you.
Tom, it's
did
all
good
yours, man.
things.
Tom, I tried to
Uh,
save you from it, but it's all good.
appreciate your help. First quarter, I will say at OVC, Kepra's Living Learning Laboratory, 17 acres in the south side. We did take advantage of the unnaturally warmest winter in history, actually, to seal up the greenhouse
Did you say
on the
the
property.
warmest winter in history?
Yes, the
I
last
was
the
here in
2024,
Indiana.
2023, 24. I think globally, honestly, but
Say
I
that again.
digress.
Globally, the
The
warmest
warmest
winter in human history.
on record. Well,
Okay,
on
no
record as
more
far as we
questions.
can measure.
No more questions.
We took advantage of that opportunity to seal up the greenhouse, which is unheated and has lots of broken panes, and prepared it and to the point where it was in a state of good enough repair that we could actually sow seeds, which our volunteers helped us with in January, February, and March, which then we were able to plant out starting in second quarter, beginning with what's becoming our annual Tree Love event, where we partner with the Bloomington Neighborhood Planting Project to acquire native seedlings of fruit-bearing plants to put out in the community. We got 600, acquired 600, distributed throughout the community, and put about 130 into the ground at OVC. And they include like native plants like persimmons, things like that. What else do we get? Persimmons, elderberries, redbud, not fruit bearing, but certainly a native that's useful. Pawpaw, pecan, and uh, and then distribute the remainder of the trees through a variety of channels, including the Sunday food share. And then in second quarter, we had regular work days every second and fourth Saturday, where volunteers came and helped us work on the property. And second quarter, that would be March,
Now,
April, May,
Tom,
June.
right now we're only dealing with the first quarter unless Chinye looks good with you moving into the second quarter. Chin, manage the meeting, my friend.
I've gotten the thumbs up to segue from the first quarter
Hey,
into the
I know
second
you
quarter.
have the thumbs up, but my job as leadership development is to help Chinyelu not let bosses like you and Miss Fair take the microphone and do whatever the hell y'all want to do. So, Chin, don't be scared of these bullies. It's all good. Go ahead, man.
No, but I just wanted to interject. Just hey, may I please make the comment? I just want to make the comment. Hey, Tom, can I come in? Can I come in?
By all means.
Oh, please, thank you.
I'm
We were
just
still
saying.
in the first quarter. We were still
Just
in the
hold on.
first
No, he
quarter.
moved to the second quarter. And
Right,
Chin, hold
but
on. Time out. Time out.
Chin said the second quarter.
Chinyelu asked for the first quarter.
And then he said the second.
He's a young developing leader. I'm just saying, hey, try to flow on the stream. And if you decide you're going to step in the second quarter, ask him first.
I
Okay, I think
appreciate the support, Em. I'm
Hey,
more than happy to move into the second quarter,
I
and
got you,
I'm not
man. But
saying
hey,
that because
man.
they want to.
But here, hold on, man. I'm going to tell you right now. Be careful. Because this is 2025, and you're dealing with bullies in your space. Surely you're going to be dealing with bullies out of our space. And you're going just like that dance you did with the Afrofuturists, and they started calling people coons. You remember that?
Yes, I remember.
And you remember the guy got up and walked out? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
So don't let that happen, man. Practice on the people that's safe. Paulette Fair, Tom. I like to say I'm in a safe space too. So, and me.
you are. You are. We do not shut your mic down when you are stepping all left. He asked to start on the second quarter, but I just really wanted for Tom to mention how in 2024, 2023, we did investigation and we did analysis.
Paulette, hold on. You passed the mic to Tom.
Well, okay. He's
Tom,
finished
it's
and
all
I was
yours,
taking
man.
it back.
Oh, you
Tom
taking it
passed
back.
it
My
to
bad.
Mrs. Fair.
Oh,
We
my
did all
God.
kind of analysis in 2022 2022 fall, we got it. 2023, we analyzed the water, the ground, the rocks in the ground, the sediment, the wells.
So
We
what
did.
what did you conclude? Put a for sale sign up and get out of that place?
We put a for sale sign up on what we grew in the greenhouse, and we were able to do that because Tom said, "Well, hey, you can't hurt. Let's try to fix the greenhouse as best we can." We did that in the first quarter. We put up plastic, we taped it, the volunteers were there. Then we decided, well, let's give it a try. And under Tom's management and
Paula,
supervisory condition,
can we let Tom speak?
okay,
You pass it to Tom. Can he speak?
he did.
Oh, he's
I was
done?
just I was
Tom, are you done,
emphasizing.
Tom?
He said
Back me up,
yes. We
Tom.
only have one mic, so you might not have heard him, but he said yes.
Okay.
And I can't see, so okay,
And I
Paula,
have a
Also,
it's all yours.
permanent.
I'll be
And I have
back.
a permanent.
I'm going on a break. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm on a permanent mic. Only the people on the equipment can shut me down. Okay, so we and
Hey,
I
Shannon, did you
wasn't
hear that?
sure.
I heard it, and I'm aware.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I really wasn't. Who would think that in January and February you could plant seedlings? But and the volunteers loved it. We had children who came through, and those little tiny hands put those little tiny seeds in those little small boxes, and sure enough, they did start to sprout. And Alex was there living on the property to get them watered and to take care of them. And I'm just wanting to say that we stepped out there, gave it a try. We didn't just stand there and say, let's wait until others say that this is all we read that this can happen. We gave it a try. So 1924, what 23 was experimental research. 24 was we were about it. We got in there, and that first quarter, we really did the thing.
Yeah, I definitely remember a lot of OVC salads and OVC peppers and cherry tomatoes. Yeah, yeah, we had some good eating coming from the farm this year.
Mhm.
Um, One other thing that I wanted to mention from that second quarter is we had some really great Alchemy Plus workshops throughout the year. We'll probably talk about a few more as we go, but we had the Story Your Numbers Tell with Aquila Barnes from Barnes Financial Concierge. That was a great session. And then in June we had the Resurrect the Real Kheprw Conflict Lab, which was our second workshop series of the year that really focused in on the conflict transformation piece. So, yeah, that was a really really good one. Really good inclusion of that. Um, Anybody want the mic? Z, Alvin, Colin, take it.
Did I facilitate the Resurrect the Real in June, or was that in the fall? You said what? I was gonna say the conflict transformation labs even earlier in the year. I think in January and June are really cool because I didn't just go, like it was my dad and other folks I was in community with too. So being able to have those conversations with like my father, and then like my peers and those who work on my teams, and just kind of see how people were growing and changing was like really awesome. And then even having to like hear people like give their like testimonies about like how it felt for them to be changed or think about conflict. And I think Miss Fair was really impactful too, how she shared that conflict was really just opportunity for folks. So it was great to just have like a really intergenerational space. And just be able to like commune with folks. Okay, I won't
Hold
jump
that
further.
thought. Public service announcement. Rasul said, whatever link we get out in the streets, it's not working. Okay, back to you, Z.
Thank you, I guess I'll hold the mic so they can handle that. And let me think. Did we talk about the retreat in January? I think I really enjoyed that. I don't know if folks were able to speak on it, but I think I just remember having a really good time being and holding space on OVC's really awesome campus in like the mornings, being able to eat lunch there and just how like talking to a lot of the people I only saw on Zoom during Friday staff or I just talked to virtually. So like I think I got to meet Miss Tony in person for the first time, and engage with a bunch of other people, like some of our newer staff too. And it was a blast. Like I ate well. I think Corey made food. Got to just talk and take
Honey,
notes and
you look
transform
asleep when
conflict,
you lay your
etc. It was a
head
lot,
up against the side of the
but
chair.
it was very nice. I
And we
have
can see you.
distinct
I can
memories.
see you on TV just as plain. So, baby,
My breakout group was peaceful. Um, Before I get into any other months of the year, does anyone on Zoom want to share any reflections from like the early first quarter, early second quarter of the year from like things that stood out to them, impactful experiences or even just things we did in our work, like in the day to day that stood out? I'll pass to Khalid. If no one on Zoom's gonna talk. And Khalid, you don't have to stick to the first quarter. You can stick to whenever you've been here.
So I'm talking about like my highlights through the year. Okay. My first one's probably getting to stay at home and uh go to school and be with my sister and my mom and hang out. Uh, um, and then in the middle of the year, probably getting to go to soccer and getting to go outside more and uh, no, mm-mm. Um, what's it called? Playing soccer, like I said, and getting to go to my friend's house. And then this part of the year was very devastating. The end of the year was very devastating for me, but it is what it is. Um, uh, um, Such a sudden change in my life. And then at first my body wasn't used to it, so I got really tired, and now I'm just used to it. But I've been doing a lot more thinking, so I've been getting a lot more headaches. But um, it's okay though. Um, what else should I say?
But
Um,
Kyla, I do want to say, in the midst of what you just shared, the drastic change, the demands in the Kepler space, which are crazy. You're 13. I mean, you're doing an amazing job. I just want to celebrate as an old guy that you are really stepping into your own agency. So thank you for stepping in and thank you for joining the team.
mm,
Amen. I will say, like, yeah, having you come around, get closer, and just like learn more because I've known you a very long time, but learning more about who you are at 13 and who you're becoming, and just watching you grow has been a huge lift for my spirit. So thanks for being you and coming around.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to ditto all that and say, I know that the sudden change of uh, going from basically no time in the Kepler space to nearly all your time in the Kepler space was a lot, but we've really enjoyed having you here, and just everything that's come with it. So, yeah, yeah. Looking forward to more, buddy. Yeah. Any other reflections from what you got?
I was told that you can never graduate from Kepler. Is that true?
Uh,
I think it depends on what you mean by graduate. This space will never not have more to teach you. So in that case, no, you can never graduate.
hey
But
man, do you ever graduate from family?
you don't graduate from life. Yeah. Well, yes, that is true. Yeah. yeah, any other reflections from quarter two? We want to move into quarter three. That would be July, August, September. Oh,
Well,
Alvin's big one is in quarter four. We're getting there.
uh, while everybody else is thinking, I was thinking that quarter three for me and OVC was the first iteration of our next generation farmers, our youth ag group. And the young people rolled out onto that piece of clover field that we picked. And we picked the clover field because it had been a clover field for the last eon. I mean, I know at least 10 years. And so the soil had been put into in it's restorative to have um, a clover or legumes that can put nitrogen in the soil. So they rolled into a field that had just been met. The soil was impacted. They had to really dig to get the weeds out. It was just a whole process that we had started in the first quarter. And by June, when the youth camp started, we peeled those tarps off and they got to making, it was it was 30 70-foot rows for planting vegetables in the coming years. And the land had to be prepared, and we prepared the land in June for growing cover crops in September. And so they prepared the land. And it truly was a 10-week process. They went out 5 days a week. They had a stipend, and uh, and even the lunch turned out to be a nutritional experience with them helping because of the volunteers that came 5 days a week to do lunch for them. So when we say about that quarter, it just will always be a remembrance for me as the start, the very first time we went out and farmed the land. The land had not been farmed since 2012 when the hay first um, sold it to the people who sold it to us. And so it for us, it was a big deal.
Mrs. Fair, just to build on what you said, I think that was really important. There were kind of two things going on during that period. One was the summer youth camp, which was that you referenced that for the first time we had a group of young people who also had young mentors. So we had high schoolers who were a part of the camp, and then there were a couple of young people who helped sort of mentor them as well. And then Alex Sangswangle was ran the program, and he put together a great curriculum that engaged the young people both in agriculture as well as sort of wildcrafting, which would be harvesting from plants that are on the property. And what was great about that is they were able to then bring them back to the earth seed, to our main structure there at OVC, and then our registered dietitian in the community prepared meals directly from that. And so it was great for them to see that food doesn't come from a vending machine necessarily. You can actually go out in the land and get it. So it was really eye opening for them. Alex also got them making baskets and things like that. So in addition to the agricultural piece, there were some sort of life skill type things, and it really was a unique program that we're hoping to build on in 2025. So I just wanted to add that little bit to what Mrs. Fair had said. But it was great. Yeah, putting the 10 rows, 10 70-foot rows that are 3 feet wide are what we established there. And through the year, we have done some interesting cultivating projects there. But I'll pass. Well, he was one of the two young mentors. Yes, Jasiri and I'm sorry, I can't remember the Elijah.
Elijah.
Uh, who has gone on to educate him he's in school in West Virginia and is pursuing agronomy as his course of study. So we're very fortunate to have them involved, and they were just great. And it was the hottest part of the year, and they got out there and they, even in the morning, they got out there and they worked. But it just shows the again, as a living learning laboratory, we have an opportunity for educational opportunities for young people, for people of all ages and abilities, and it was just great to see that all that come together this year for the first time. We're going to really try to build on it this year.
And I just wanted to add, Tom, 10, 10 70-foot rows is a lot of rows.
A lot of
They did
rows.
they did 30 because 10 are going to go under the hoop house when we finally get the money to install it. But they did 30.
Donate.kepler.org, everybody.
Please
You heard it.
donate.kepler.org.
Help us get that hoop house fixed. But I did wanna I did just realize looking back through our feed that the launch party for the CLT was at the end of July. So I'd like to pass it over to Alvin to talk about. Yeah, you were right, baby. I'd like to pass. It's been a long year, man. But yeah, I'd like to pass it over to Alvin to talk about that project a little bit.
Yeah, hey everybody, Alvin with Kheprw. I'm feeling, yeah, definitely the CLT project that was kind of one of the culminations of the team's work over the years of trying to start a community land trust in Indianapolis, along with other partners around the city and the city support. So I think in July we did our launch party down at OVC where we had first 50 members sign up, and we also launched the pilot project, which we now have 4 home buyers who are looking for permanently affordable homes around Indianapolis, with funding that we got from the African American Quality of Life Initiative. But I think personally that the biggest lessons for me in the project was really about letting go of control. So I'm definitely like more of an A plus student trying to get everything right and step in to do all the work. But really, it wasn't until letting go that we could build a team that was beyond Alvin's project. So like
Hey,
that
Alan,
was
say a little bit more about that difficulty as it relates to your own development, self mastery, and community, blah blah blah.
well, I think um and that ties into looking at our internal patterns, the patterns of behavior that drive our behavior. So like for me, the control and the really competition and excellence is driven out of a fear of rejection a lot of times. So you try and show your value by like, okay, I'm going to do excellent work. But if other people are doing it, then you don't get credit for the excellent work. So that's part of that cycle of trying to be recognized and seen as having value. But at the same time, that pushes people away too, because they're like, oh man, it's a pain to work with Alvin. He don't want to, like, he is not a team player. So those are really like a recurring lifetime of understanding those behavior patterns. But really, I think through recognizing and having an awareness of them, then you can start to shift those patterns. So I think really this year was a breakthrough year, and just accepting of myself as just for where I am, and that my security isn't just based off of that. Um, so that helped to build team, and then I think, and this goes into, and I'll just go a little into the rest of the year on the CLT project, which was really building community. So beyond just our own internal Kheprw team, which we were able to build a very different team, very different archetypes, particularly Khalil being added to the mix. Chineliu's dad was a big piece of, again, getting to that place where we include community and the leadership of it. There's a part of the Tao Te Ching that basically says that if you want something to last forever, you have to like let go of it. When you do your work, don't hold on to it so tightly, because if it's always you doing it, unless you're doing it, then it won't happen. But if you let it go and let other people take ownership of it and have a real meaningful role and impact in it, one, it'll go into directions you could never have predicted or created through creating a perfect process or a perfect project. And people have all kinds of skills and perspectives that you don't have too. So if you're always coming from just your perspective as the bar for excellence, then um, everything suffers. I mean, the project suffers, and it really doesn't lead to its full potential. And that's
Mhm.
really, again, like with succession, that's how a lot of organizations and movements and stuff die, because it's based around one person who's the charismatic leader who, like, they trust, and it's, but once they're gone, like, oh well, it's like over, because it was about that person.
I just want to add to that real quick, because that's something that I've been thinking about. Like, even if that person who's like placed themselves in charge does the job flawlessly, when they're gone, you know? And if you were always relying on one person to do the job flawlessly, then whether they fuck up or just move on, as all people eventually do, you'll be up, you'll be lost. So yeah, that's a great
Hey, it
observation.
strikes me as an opportunity to plug the book, The Knowledge Illusion.
Oh yeah. That's a great idea. So this month, starting next week, and then we'll have one more session on I think the 29th. We'll be having sort of two-part book discussion on this book called The Knowledge Illusion, which is basically about how human beings understand knowledge, the role that knowledge shapes in the role that the role that knowledge plays in shaping our society and culture, and how actually, we think about knowledge as something that we hold in our heads, and that we each kind of like have a separate sort of like knowledge base. And this book basically argues that the line between the knowledge that we hold in our heads and the knowledge that we access from the outside world via other people, tools like books, tools like the internet, that there actually isn't that much of a divide between that knowledge and the quote unquote internal knowledge that we all hold. So if you're interested in learning more about knowledge and this illusion that we call knowledge, join us starting next week for that book discussion. And I'll pass it back to Alvin to finish up his reflection. Oh, you're done? Okay, cool. Well, yeah. And I guess then I'll just say that like we've we've all been watching your journey over the year. And it's been really inspiring, you've gotten your ass kicked. But I don't know. It's always great to like watch somebody on your team, somebody who you respect and know is like a person who always strives for excellence. And I can't think of many times over the past decade that I've seen you endure something so clearly challenging as this project has been for you, and yet you've still pushed through, and
Hey man, yeah, I did all that.
yeah,
Actually, you are a testimony to alchemy,
yeah,
uh, the alchemic experience,
growth
and
and
and,
change, baby. Yeah.
and from moving from the caterpillar to the butterfly. And the caterpillar, when you're in the cocoon, you liquefy first for the transformation completed. But yeah, ditto what Chin said. You taking an
And
ass with and
Alvin said, and I did liquefy. Yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, and let me see. So moving on a little bit into the third quarter. Well, one, I'm looking at well, actually, I won't get to that one just yet. But what I am seeing is October was the first inaugural gathering of the Translocal Afrofuturist Network. So that was awesome. Great to have so many just brilliant individuals and artists and thinkers and visionaries gathered here in Indianapolis, exploring the city, getting to know each other, digging in deep on some, really, I would say like relevant matters in regards to just like the Afro future. So, yeah, I didn't know if anybody wanted to offer any more reflections on that one, but yeah, just some really great relationships that we've started to build this year in that space. Yeah. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, no, the Afrofuturism conference was super impactful. I think the night I'll really remember the most is maybe like the night to all of the main activities we had on campus where Cherie and Rasul just played a bunch of short videos and clips for us of like different Afrofuturist like short films and things that were accessible to folks on YouTube. And just like how it changed, like it was distorting to be able to be in a room and watch something that reflected the present day or even spoke to our experiences that was made like in the early 2000s and 90s, and just being shocked at how we all had like really deep discussion about like, can we believe this is even like real, like this is like the closest to reality I've seen, or just how jarring it was to see black people doing things that they're doing now, and the ways it was written in the past. So just just a crazy moment, super deep. Like I'm still thinking about how we are all Afrofuturists and just really appreciated the talks and experiences of seeing people do their work and talk about their experiences. I know Maurice had his own night and it was really nice to hear his story. And then even getting to see the artists talk about how they do their drawings and work and use technology in this day to explain the future. So it was really beautiful.
And then Z had asked if anybody on the Zoom would like to speak about this sort of third quarter time period that we're on as well. So we'll definitely love to hear you guys' input.
Well, while someone is waiting to talk, I just thought I'd interject.
Might as well.
Yeah, yeah, well, people are gathering their thoughts. Mine are right on top of my head here. I can just spit them right out. As Z spoke to the first night with Afrofuturist gathering, that Cherie, who's been in that genre for a while, and also Rasul, um, kind of moderated, I should say, or facilitated the films. It was a great way to start the gathering. But I think for me, it was also the talks that the Afrofuturists people zoomed in, some came in, and how they spoke to how it got started. It got started here in our lifetime. This isn't a genre that started millennium ago. It's not a genre that started, in 1500 or 1800. It started, just right around the 60s, in the 50s, that people started writing in that genre. Uh, Africans in the future. It building societies that are more user friendly for all humans, especially Black people, for all humans. But the emphasis was on Black people building these societies. As we build societies here in the United States, we had to build our own societies. And so their talks and how they started to remind all of us at the art of the start. It's not until you get everything you need to produce what you want to give to the world, you start. And then that evening, we had a talk in the new Mari Evans Library at the Oaks Academy. That was so neat. It was just hearing our Afrofuturist Maurice Brouders speak to his writing, his calling to write, even in college while he was in a nursing biology curriculum that he graduated out of, but it was writing. And that's when he really realized that writing would have to be in his future. Another call out, Chin, Chin might be doing marketing now, but if he gets 3 minutes and he can put his hand on a pencil doing any meeting, he's making sketches and working on his graphic novel or some graphic novels. And so there was another one of those. This was an Afrofuturism gathering, but it was a gathering that spoke to community and to those that came to the gathering about how it's in you and you are called upon. You really are called upon to use those gifts that you have. And I think the culmination, Z, tell me if I'm not right, was the after set that we had at the gym at 16 Park and on 17th Street, the fashion show that our own fashion designer and Deidre Coleman and
Yeah, that was
Robert
great.
Moore.
I know I looked like I was big pimping. It was great.
Emma
Come up to
strolling
me
down in
after,
one of
ask me where
her.
you got that cane.
Mhm, mhm. Hey, what about that light blue suit with those blue tennis shoes?
Mm-hmm. Fresh to death.
I'm telling you, and that hat that was black suede with the blue undertones. I
Hey,
mean,
one of the young people said, "Look at him. He's in them Nikes.
yeah,
Look
yeah,
at him go."
light blue Nikes. And so every day of the event, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, turned out to just be a blowout blast. I was really proud of how Kheprw, the Afro futurist community, and our community came out to interact with just such a fun event. It was the first annual, and we, of course, plan to do it again. So that was my addition on what we did that third quarter before we got into the fourth quarter. Because uh, no, yeah, it was in October, I believe. So that was in the fourth quarter. It was the end of October.
Miss Fair, thank you for okay. Thanks for the reminder, Miss Fair. It was such a good reminder to think about how cool, like seeing Mystery and Carol and their children as part of like the people modeling, and those kids ate us up. I'm not even gonna lie, those kids ate us up. But like I had a blast modeling with Tara and Jay Root and meeting more of my friends and community like Will who came out and just like knew that Kepler was doing this. And just like being able to be with like Deidre, who is such a wonderful designer and curator, and her bringing in her
We
daughters to
call
see
her a
the work
diva.
she a diva, a
She's
female
a diva.
hustler,
For sure.
absolutely. Yeah. Sully, do you want to check in? And I'd love to hear from others who participated in the fashion show or just got to experience it. Sully, if you would like to check in, if whenever you mute color number and what was the best part of your day today? And then Shanilu asked, can you share your reflection and thoughts as a member of like the Afrofuturism conference and how you felt about it?
Yeah, I am a hibiscus red 7.5, and guess the best part of my day today is started PT up again, and it went pretty well. A lot of positive feedback. I'm moving again, and what I think about the translocal event this year?
Yes, sir.
Did the PT say, "Man, you're doing great"?
Yeah, they did. Um, Translocal event was a good experience. Was a good experience. Good start of the last quarter of the year, because it was October. Was it October? Yeah, the 10th. Yeah, it was basically the start of the last quarter of the year. One beginning of the last major events of winter. Um, it was our first project with Cherie Renee Thomas. great connector and relationship builder. The Afrofuturist been working with us, gave us a lot of major connections to outside of state, outside the country. It's also one major project we did with the
Rasul, don't leave out that you were a keynote at one of their events that was held in Brazil. You were on it, of course, virtually.
It
It made you an international star in that meeting.
Oh, joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it called?
I,
Sabam Bisam, I think it was Bisam.
Yes,
It
it
was
is. B.A. Sam by Sam.
Bisam. And it was gathering of black speculative and Afrofuturist artists, activists, writers, what have you. Um, that's where I met a lot of them. And that's where we began the idea of starting a translocal summit to basically start building a network of connections between different people across the world in the area of Afrofuturism, Black speculative fiction, to build connection. And it was one of the first major projects I've done with the marketing team. A lot of lessons learned, a lot of
A lot of lessons learned.
a
Yeah.
lot of lessons learned. I learned a lot by myself. It was one of the first projects I took on getting back in the workspace after I got out of the hospital. And the final result was really good. We had a fashion show, a show, Black Afrofuturist show marathon, a library discussion. We had a tour visit to the Dunbar Library, a great dinner. It was real good. Great way to start. Not having year. Sorry. It's amazing that was just only like a few months ago. That feels like a lifetime ago. Um, yeah.
I'll also add because you just reminded me, Suli. I'm just gonna say that your health journey and recovery over the past, I've just like in the last half of the year, also been I'm gonna say it's a highlight, just because I think it's one of those things that like really um pushed us to like come together and like mobilize as a community. It's been great watching you sort of like, work through that challenge and come out now on the other side of it. And also, man, just you were dealing with some serious stuff, before, we kind of figured out what it was and how to address it. And so I think one, seeing you seeing some of that burden alleviated, for you and just like, yeah, your speech, your movement, like your sense of humor coming back a little bit, like it's been really great seeing you yeah, just been really great watching you work through that and bounce back over the course of the year, buddy. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a journey and it's great. It's been a really enriching journey learning. I have so many people around me that care for me, community and family, and um, yeah, there's just I had a lot of support, a lot of very, very helpful
not only
support.
do we care for you, we love you. And
Thank you.
I want to ditto what Chin just said. It's amazing to watch your journey into a very extremely challenging moment in your life, but you stepping into it like a boss.
Thank you. I
Do you
appreciate
have
that.
any, did you have any other reflections from any other earlier parts of the year, Rasul?
Um, to be honest with you, Chan, I really don't remember much of 2024.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Until I went to the hospital. All of it's really a blur. Up to that
Makes
point.
sense. Makes a lot of, had to ask though,
Just a lot of meth. It was I don't know what the hell else is going on. But like I was there and now all of a sudden it's January. Where we at?
I did want to say, well, one on the topic of Cherie, I wanted to say, Echo Tree book study was definitely a highlight, as well as all
Oh,
the other great book studies that we did this year. We did Thinking in Systems. We did The Anxious Generation. So just a lot of really good reading and study over the course of the year. And then Z talking about the fashion show. You know, one, it was, yeah, I definitely agree that it was just really beautiful to see, Mystery and Diop there with their, Azad, the baby that we've all been getting to know for the past few years, and Mizan, the new baby that we'll be getting to know for the next few years. And, Damon and Brandy's whole family, Carol's family, like, yeah, so just and I feel like there's been a lot of that throughout the year, right? Just like a lot of like family coming together, a lot of like really young, youthful energy in the space. And, maybe not so consistently as it has been in the past, but like I feel like at every point throughout the year, we've had just like bursts of like really intense engagement with the young people from, the summer camp to the fashion show. And then the next thing that I want to talk about, which is the launch of the Early Growers Program, which is just super cool. Early Growers being the early childhood education initiative cooperative that some of our team members launched towards the end of the year. Nature School, just really focused on developing, problem solving and confidence, and just sort of like those basic skills. And I think especially seeing sort of w- just like following some of the recent developments with our local school system, or perhaps soon to be lack thereof. It's really great to see community sort of like taking initiative, and taking the responsibility for like providing education and care to like the youngest members of our community into their own hands. So,
Hey, Chin, I
yo,
know the early growers are actually recruiting students to participate. Is there a link that we can drop in the chat?
oh, that is yeah, J. Rue, could you put the earlygrowers.com link in the chat? And yeah, for anybody that is not on our Zoom chat, if you go to earlygrowers.com, that should give you all the information you need on how you can enroll your little person or just contribute, help support it. Yeah. Yeah. Um, let's see. Also want to give a shout out while we're here to just because I'm looking at it, to Sister Lakaya. She's been stewarding the Growing Good in the Hood program for some years now, and made the transition to the next part of her journey this year. So one, want to just like thank her for all the work that she's done over the years, making that program what it is. Definitely, I think one of our most well known. And also just like I think it's really awesome the way that she's like stayed in the Kheprw space, and still found a way to contribute to the community wealth building, even as she's left this role and moved out of state. She's still definitely like a testament to the idea that like, you don't have to be physically linked necessarily to be in community. You still have to, have some accountability, but yeah, you can still contribute even if you're not in the space physically. So um yeah, let me see. Also, big shout out to yeah, just I would say the launch of this space, the Alchemy Community Wealth Building Center, has also been a super huge highlight. Really kind of our soft launch. Shout out to IFF for having their what is this event called? Oh yeah, the Stronger Nonprofit Social, which IFF was awesome enough to, let us use them as guinea pigs to practice hosting an event here in our brand new, newly renovated 100-year-old building that we purchased before the pandemic. and just got done renovating now. So, damn, really wishing that we had gotten. I don't know. Is anybody here who was involved in that the process of like overseeing the renovation? Anybody want to speak to that experience at all?
Paul is fair. He's the expert here.
Well, not so much the expert, but I hung on and hung on and hung on and hung on. You can well imagine how I felt at 82 years old with a chem bio college degree, sitting up listening to architects, construction managers, and who else was that was in there? The construction man and various other people who did the construction talking about the plumbing and the wiring and renovations in general. And I was just trying to keep up. And many times I got lost. People were really, we had a great crew. We had decided early on that we were going to aim for 100% Black and or BIPOC contractors, workers,
Crazy.
workers, period.
Now, Mrs.
Whatever they
Fair,
did.
we're on a
Yeah.
live stream, so be nice.
No. I'm just saying that we strive for that. And every time we pulled together our quarterly report that we thought would only be for 4 quarters in one year, and the pandemic hit, and distribution and lack of items that were needed pushed us into 2.5 years. So we did quite a few quarterly reports. And so we were able to document the process of how successful we were. I mean, we came out of there with some great contractors that we would have never known about had it
Yeah,
not been for this project.
yeah.
And the one thing that I insisted on through the whole project, no matter what, I know we can find a bamboo floor that we can afford. Every time the contractors or the people in charge of putting stuff down and hammering and nailing would tell me, "Oh no, we got to use this fake floor. We got to use this floor that's anti-environmental. We will not be able to afford." I just kept saying, "I know we can find something." And one of the contractors was able to find the bamboo floor, bamboo recyclable, beautiful
Hey,
bamboo.
Paula, which contractor was that?
Mike
Thank you.
found the bamboo floor that we could put all over the building. And that was my one main contribution of all the wonderful things that's going on in that building. Every time I walk in, the floor pulls the building together
Gorgeous
like
floor, gorgeous
like an
building.
art project. It is. I am not a creative. I am not an artist. I have no genre, but my eyeballs know what they know. And I push for that floor down to the wire. I was told couldn't do it. You see it there. And so, as I was talking earlier about starting at OVC in 2024, we're not doing, if we do any,
Hey, pay attention what just happened here. Yeah.
I see it.
All right, go ahead.
no matter what happens, we knew that we had investigated and investigated. It was time, the art of the start. And so
So
we just kept moving. And so with that floor, it was, and so now every time I walk in that building, as you will all your lives, see the fruits of your labor. So make sure that you put the labor in and things just don't fall out like they fall out because they fell out that way.
I like to add to that.
Oh, go ahead.
When you're done, I like to add.
Oh, I was just gonna say they might not turn out like you really wanted it to be. I've got some I can't
Paula,
even call them
we're gonna
excuses or
What
reasons.
would you like to add, Em?
we're gonna do the nightmare story the next meeting. So well, of course.
I got one.
Oh, no, not just one. I know every story you got, somebody died. I know that already. I work with. Oh yeah, he died. And by the way, and they died too. But let me start with ignorance is bliss. So we got involved with this project. We had no idea what we're getting involved in, and so there was a lot of lessons learned. Now, in those lessons, often whether I wanted to be or not, since I'm Pollard Fair's administrative assistant, I, I was in so many of those meetings. It was just painful. Now, at the high level, it's so hard to work in a meeting where ain't nothing but men in the meeting. It's just such a rough job. I don't even like to work with men. If ain't no women in the room, please don't call me. We got to spend a half hour at every meeting, starting with what? Who can piss the furthest? Then after that, that's one. Then the next thing is, it wasn't my fault. It was his fault. It wasn't his fault. It was my fault. Did it? Oh, golly. But hey, at the end of the day, we got through it. The building is beautiful. It's open for business. And I hate to be arrogant here, but I don't think anybody else could have done this but Kheprw.
That's the truth. And yeah, speaking of the beautiful building, I did want to highlight really the last big event of the year, which was our official unveiling of the Alchemy Community Wealth Building Center, as well as our annual Kwanzaa celebration, which we celebrated on the third day of Kwanzaa this year, Ujima, collective work and responsibility. And yeah, I think that just like before that event, during that event, and since that event, I've just constantly been coming back to how significant it is to me that we're celebrating collective work and responsibility in a building that we, own, that we have worked together to acquire and refurbish, and that we are now working together to figure out, how it can be the greatest asset possible to the community and community wealth building. So,
Hey,
yeah,
is
that
Aquila on the call?
Agila is on the call.
Aquila, will you chime in on how the Kwanzaa event impact your family, please?
Sure. Uh, yeah, I was also gonna say I think that was probably my like one of my highlights of the year was that event. It was very beautiful. It was a reflection of community wealth building at its core. Um, and community wealth building rooted in the communities and histories of resistance that we come from, that a lot of us come from. And um I would
Take
say,
your
for me, I had family coming
cousin.
in. Huh?
Talk about your cousin.
Yeah, I had family coming in from DC, and my cousin and his kid came and visited, and they especially my nephew was like he's 12, and he was definitely very much impacted by the feelings in the space, and it was really cute. He was like, everybody is so nice. Um and he could really feel, even though he couldn't necessarily quite grasp or articulate what he was feeling at that moment, but he was just like very much like tangibly impacted by the feelings of um community, of togetherness in that space. um and just great. And of course, my parents were like, finally, my dad, especially every other month, is like, uh, not that infrequent, every other week was like, hey, what's happening with the building up there? So
Now they know.
I was like, great question. And to be able to be like, this is what's happening with that building up there. It's great.
Thank you.
We have a wonderful recap of that night up on our YouTube channel right now. Yeah, we got a few minutes. Let's go ahead and play it real quick. Just, so we can bask in the feelings together. And yeah, shout out to Ira Mallory for capturing all the footage and doing all the editing on this piece. It's great.
Hey, can we drop his link in the chat if other folks want to use the service?
Yes, sir. Oh yeah, man. The vendors were definitely a highlight of that celebration too. First of all, I wanted to thank all of you for coming out. This is the first official public event in this building, so let me get a round of applause for that. Yeah. We'll start off with true and false Kwanzaa. Let's raise your hand if you have the answer, and hopefully us in the community will properly give some education about what Kwanzaa is and what it ain't. Repeat after me. To strive for and maintain unity.
To strive for and maintain unity
In our family, community, nation, and race.
in our family, community, nation, and race.
Say Kuja Chaka live. And it means self-determination. And here we go. To speak for ourselves, name ourselves, and define ourselves. Instead of others. It's naming, speaking, and defining ourselves. I think that's right. When you hold your right hand up in the air, right? You make a fist real tight. And we do this 7 times. You're going to pull it down, Harambe. We're going to do this, Harambe. We're going to do it 7 times. On the 7th time, we hold it, your breath as long as you can, because that symbolizes what? That we're going to pull together as long as we can. So you hold your breath as long as you can. Hopefully no one passes out. So you do this, okay? Mrs. Fair is here. She'll take care of any needs you have. She'll take care of. I guarantee you could pass out or whatever to be taken care of. All right. So here we go. We're gonna start. Kylie, would you start us? 1, 2, 3. Harambe, get us started. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Harambe, 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 Harambe. Can't count. Sorry. Hey. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up, J. Rue. Don't give up. Hey, all right. Round of applause. Job well done. For those of you who never did it before, you just experienced your first Kwanzaa ceremony. Habar Ghani, Regina, to you all. Thank you. All right.
Okay, my name is Beverly. My last name is Khan. And I'm happy to be here today on the 3rd day of Kwanzaa. And who do I have with me?
Kali Mom, Why Africa.
Why Africa? Oh, I know that name. Oh, I know that. I've heard it before. So this is my second Kwanzaa event this week. And I know it's the 3rd day of Kwanzaa. So tell me how do I pronounce it again?
Ujima.
Ujima. So I'm learning from the youngsters here. So what can I take with me today out of here?
That Kwanzaa isn't just an event that you celebrate at the end of the year. It's a concept that you hold with you throughout the whole entire year?
My name is Leah Durant. Tonight was great. I feel like Kheprw always puts on really good events. I love that they bring Kwanzaa to the community. I brought my niece. This is her first Kwanzaa event. I also came with my cousin. So it's good to introduce the next generation to Kwanzaa. I love that they gave the history and the breakdown of it, and discuss some of the controversy surrounding the holiday. I love that they have a live band. The food is good. It feels really good to be back in community. I've been around Kheprw since I was like 23. I'm 33 now, so a little over 10 years. I currently live out of state, so when I come back into the city, I love like being able to be surrounded by community, and Kheprw always provides that.
Oh yeah, man. Great video, great event, great year. So yeah, that's basically it for 2024. What are people looking forward to for 2025?
Hey, Chan, I don't think Tara or Mimi has timed in.
Mimi did chime in. Tara had to hop out.
Tara's not here. Mimi, got anything else you want to add?
Um, I when I was thinking about 2024, so we mentioned it already, but like Rasul's transformation this year, I mean this year will go down in the history of Kheprw and my timeline. Um, because it was the craziest thing in the world to get a phone call like, hey, you need to go to the hospital, and find out later that day that you need emergency brain surgery. That shit
Yeah.
just don't happen every
Yeah.
day. And like the way that Rasul has handled it, like you're I think even grown a lot through this, more into yourself and all that you can be, and the way that our community, I think, has done our best to also come around you and support you, and you know just make sure that we keep moving forward into whatever that may look like. um Not only does like the scar on the back of your neck make you look like a bionic man, um but I think inside as well you are better, stronger, faster. Like, uh, you've really gone through alchemy at all levels this year. Um, and I'm so proud and inspired. I, I don't think that a lot of people could have got through this experience and step into the next phase of their life the way that you are, and surrounded by a community that supports that. So that's just one of the biggest highlights. Um, So the second one I'll say is just the next generation leadership circle, like as a team of young people, who are committed to community and our own development, and just maintaining the institution of Kheprw that, represents freedom and making a way out of no way, and making sure that everybody who wants to contribute as best as we can has a space to be the best that they can be and share their gifts with the world. And it's like more than ever now. And the way that this circle of young people in our 20s and 30s has stepped into that and like taking Kheprw into the next generation, it really does blow my mind. I'm thankful for that every day. I don't know what I would do in this world like without that circle of leadership of my peers. Um, and then the third one I will pick is just like the youngins, Azad and Mizan, as we out in mystery raise their babies and launch the early growers as a space for all babies to flourish. Um, uh, Just Theory came and stayed with us over the summer. Solid has come into the space. Um, and I don't know, young people bring me so much joy and renew my spirit and like I guess help contribute to what I feel like is my purpose in like being in relationship with and supporting the young people that inherit this world and make it, with support, they can make it what they want it to be. And we're in a time where there's a lot of change going down and the world that they live into not going to be the world that I grew up in. There's no way. So being able to like connect with young people and learn from them and support them to change, like truly change the world because it is changing. That's been a highlight. So
What
to
what you what you looking forward to for 2025?
surviving.
Woo!
I pay attention. I pay attention. And 2025 ain't no joke. This is not a fool. So yeah, seeing the ways that we come together to recreate it, figuring out how we're going to sustain this beautiful space of the Community Wealth Building Center at Alchemy. I also think it's going to be a beautiful space for like creativity and art, which I think we need more of to guide us into the future. And just continuing to work with y'all every day through the ups and downs.
Hell yeah. Pick the next person to go. Okay. Let's let's pass it to Aguila. What you looking forward to for 2025?
Mm, hmm. Well, similar to Mimi, like it's about to be a year, y'all.
Already
And
has
I,
been.
I don't know. There's something about this year that feels. I mean, a lot of the years previously have felt like this too, but there's something that feels transformational in a way that maybe we won't expect it to be. And I'm looking forward to that and how we lean into it as a community and as a collective. Um, Around that. And there's a lot of new exciting possibilities, even in the midst of liquefaction and collapse that I think that are emerging. Um, and the growth of our team and our leadership as well. That's back to y'all.
He said pass
uh
somewhere else.
yeah, pass it to the next person.
I will pass it to Colin.
Okay, what was it? My resolution for do I have to be honest? Are you sure? You're right. Okay.
Hold the mic closer to your mouth, please. I can hardly hear you, Colin, and I'm interested in what you're thinking about for
Okay.
2025.
So I think
Thank
my
you.
resolution for 2025 is gonna be probably like mastering my own agency and like starting to not adulthood, but like uh what is it? Like yeah, thank you. Like being a lot more mature and being able to be stable for myself, not like because like I am still a kid, but like be able to pay for my own stuff and like not having to hope that my mom will say, "Oh yeah, you can get it." I can just be like, "Can you take me here?" and then I buy it myself. Um,
Hey man, get those skills up, G.
um, and uh, probably like gonna try to make time for myself to practice for soccer. Right now I don't have a lot. I do have time, I just don't make it. Um, so yeah. I'll
And
do.
just with that last statement, you are already practicing your own agency. That was a really good catch. People always say like, oh, I don't have time, but a lot of times like we don't make time. Like you're so right.
Um, yeah, thank you. What was oh, I was gonna say M, but I want to change. I'll do Miss Fair. That's okay.
Absolutely not. No, go ahead.
What did M say?
I said absolutely not, but no, go ahead.
What you looking forward to for 2025, Mrs. Fair?
Well, one could say, one could say more of the same great things that happened in 2024. A lot of great things happened. But then one cannot leave out the challenges, which while the great things were easy to roll through, the challenges is where you grew. It's where the cobwebs had to come down and you had to throw your brain into not second gear cruising, not third gear, just managing the speed limit for others. Throw that baby into fifth gear. This is the last 2025 any of us will live. Sis can't go back. How much opportunity did you miss to be all you could be in 2024? How diminished did you allow yourself to be because you just rolled over?
Lazy.
So what?
Yeah.
Not lazy, nervous, scared, anxiety, all kind of, did I say excuses? I don't mean reasons. A reason
Call
is
it.
that you can count
It's
off
all
all
your
the
fault, Colin. All your fault.
a reason. A reason is a roadblock that you had to work around the challenge. An excuse is anything you can pull out the environment and say, oh yeah, I'll say that's why I didn't move ahead. An excuse can come up, yeah, that's the ticket. But a reason is that you could not move ahead because the challenge was too great, easily admitted. That's why you have people around you. So, what do I want to happen? What am I expecting in 2025? What am I moving toward in 2025? The best that I can be in self mastery, just statements. But to just blow up, look back on 2025 and say, gosh, I couldn't believe it. Like we do now. When we look at where we've come from over the last, this is 2025. 5-year increments is a lot of times how people count times because 5, 10, 15, 20 is easier to count than 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So 5-year periods. Look where we've come from for 2020. The pandemic hit and threw all of us in a tailspin. And we came out running. We came out running because we looked at the challenges and said, we could, the big conference, the educational conference that we were planning for Memorial Day weekend 2020. When that pandemic hit in March, we stopped looking for places to have it. We stopped looking for anything that would physical that would get us there. For the first time we started using Zoom, couldn't even afford to buy one. Someone in our circle, our social capital circle, our relationship circle, allowed us to use one of their Zooms. The conference, we even had breakout rooms. Alvin didn't know anything about it, none of the rest. Alvin spearheaded it. It was wonderful. So I'm just saying, when you think about where we've come from,
Yeah.
I mean, we got to get to moving because we already capable. Look what we have accomplished. And so it's not like everything's got to be bigger and better. No, it has to have stronger and a better foundation. And that's
Yes.
always something to push for.
Very
Better,
well
not a
said.
so-so
Very well said.
foundation. I know, baby, it's time to stop, but I was just going to say it's about our relationships, bringing the community along to, to spread it out. I mean, higher and higher and higher, only if it's spread out among the community as if we get there. So
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
me for 2025. And I will pass it to Tom, TPH.
The chat TPH.
Yes. Um, well, I'm one of the challenges for me will be to continue learning from the young people in the circle and meeting them where they're at, and also trying to move things at OVC forward and trying to create revenue streams. Donate.kepra.org will be a good place to start. Um, but working with plants and working with people and working on the land, that's I'm looking for I'm really looking forward to that. It's every day is a beautiful day at OVC, and I just want to get as many people down there as possible to experience that. And I will pass it to Alvin.
Thank you, Tom. So I would say probably my biggest thing I'm looking forward to in 2025. Well, of course, the continued development of younger leaders in Kheprw space and ones that we may not even know right now that will come along. And I would say also the really looking at having more intentional conversations like this in our community and kind of how we had community forums back in the day, issues of gentrification, other things, and bringing folks from around the country and world to share what communities are doing to create our own kind of solutions. So trying to do more of that now that we have the space to do that and bring people together. So that's probably my biggest.
Yeah, well, I think like generally I think I'll echo a lot of Mrs. Fair's sentiments. You know, I've been around since the beginning, um, since we were renting buildings that we couldn't afford to pay the bills for, and just all sorts of stuff, and now we're here,
Hey,
and
and you might be heading back at the same time.
maybe so, but also maybe not. We'll see. But I think, and kind of like Agila said, this is definitely a time, or Agila and Mimi, I think, spoke to this, but this is a definitely a time of a lot of change, a lot of collapse and a lot of opportunity. And I think that like in those environments are, it's a crucible. It forces you to become stronger, and more resilient. And so I'm looking forward to seeing us like grow and evolve and adapt to meet these challenges and just like everything that I know is going to come out of that. But I would say that more specifically, I'm looking forward to getting this alchemy community wealth building center more up and running and figuring out what the best way to sustain this is. I'm looking forward to watching the early growers initiative evolve. I'm looking forward to watching OVC continue to bloom and flourish another year. I'm looking forward to everything that we got going on in relationship with the Afrofuturists and the arts. Um, and I would say I'm generally looking forward to just, you know, um, I think it's time. We've been having a lot of internal conversations about this, but I think it's a time where our organization is looking at like, you know, different forms and means and methods of sustainability. If some of the old wells start to dry up, we're starting to look for new ones and starting to dig new ones. And so I'm really excited to see, yeah, just what that becomes. And I will pass it to Rasul.
So what I'm looking for in 2025,
Yes,
looking
sir.
forward to. Um, hmm. I haven't really thought that far ahead yet.
Period,
I
Russell. Stand on that.
just looking forward to new opportunities of what my let me put it this way. I'm really gaining a far better appreciation of health, of my well-being, and what it really feels like to face the potential of a lot of opportunities being taken away from you. So I'm willing to take this new year, looking forward to this new year to really learn more about how can Rasul be more in that sense of word, in that kind of word, more agency, more proactive, more ability, just um giving more, learning more, gaining more. Just I'm really just trying to lean in because a good portion of the previous years I remember a lot of hesitancy of doing a lot, a fear of hurting myself or ending up in failure, which I still do have that caution, but letting that caution get ahead of providing me some false sense of safety does not prevent from dealing with life's challenges. So I'm looking forward of dealing with life's challenges in a more I guess stronger way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, said Chin.
So
Can I take it from you, Sully?
yeah, positive.
Um, I think this year and in coming years, I'm really looking forward to how we can be flexible and adaptable and open our arms to change so that we don't have to bend and snap when they do come because we know changes are coming and that the world will not stay the same as it is constantly like evolving. But like I'm really looking forward to collaborating with like my peers, my leaders, my seniors, my elders, and butt heads with people and get shake down really like the core of like what we see and feel to like get to a real understanding of like what our future could look like. And like for me personally, I'm really looking forward to learning more about community care and the ways that we practice culturally taking care of ourselves and others so that we can share and then further learn from other communities and then build on our practices too. So I'm hoping to break down silos this year and work with others more and be collaborative so that others can take and run through the things I've come up with so they don't have to be rigid. So I'm letting go of rigidity. I have no more bones in my body this year. I am a water mattress. And J. and M, J. do you want to go while you're plugged in? If you're plugged in,
Again, hello. Yeah, I didn't really talk about my 2024 like that, but it was a crazy year filled with a lot of lessons. And I think my main takeaway, I did a lot of traveling this year. I think I hit 6 different states in probably like the span of 3 months there.
Sheesh.
And it was wild. It was amazing though. It was really amazing. But I think the one thing that really stood out to me about those travels, or the one thing I that has played again and again and again in my mind, is we went to North Carolina with the Black Solidarity Economy Coalition, or that's what I want to say it was. I'm trying to remember the group.
That's close enough.
Close enough, right? It's some black folk trying to get their solidarity economy together. You know what I mean? They're trying to do it. So they have some elders of the space, folks who've been part of organizing movements across the country. And there's one OG in particular from Georgia, Mama Nini. No, that's not who it was. Chin is painting my thoughts. Mama Nini passed away this year. I can't remember what her name is right now, off the top of my head. But this OG, she was talking to us about, what she sees out here in the environment and what she thinks is coming next. And she was like, I'm gonna be real with all you young people. The age of joy is over. Now we are in the age of work. And something about that has just really stuck with me ever since she said that to me. I don't even remember being in the age of joy, but shit, if that was it, and we going into something else, then I really need to
You
get
better
ready.
enjoy your work.
Yeah. um, yeah, so that was probably my biggest takeaway in 2024, among plenty of other things. It was a great year. Um, and yeah, going into 2025, I'm looking forward to a lot of what other people spoke to. All the stuff that's going to come to the building, all the people that are going to come to the building and to the Kheprw community in general. But I think I'm most looking forward to loving folks who I don't even really know exist yet, if that makes sense. People out there, relationships that have yet to be built, that surely will be built, that I can't even perceive in my frame of reference right now. I'm looking forward to meeting those folks and continuing to forge the new with them. And I'll pass it to Imhotep.
Okay, so 2024 or 2025. What am I doing?
2025.
So, well, first of all, guys, it's been great listening to these stories, the lessons learned. It's inspiring, and it really makes me feel like, the work has meaning. So I want to start with that. I'm gonna just be really honest with you guys. 2025, get ready for a clusterfuck ass one. It's coming in ways that we have not experienced. But you can go read about it because our ancestors have experienced it. So what am I looking forward to as it relates to that particular, dare I say, vision, or should I say nightmare? I'm looking forward to getting ready for what's coming and what that means. And I'm looking forward to helping you guys get ready. At the next gen leaders in our space that moving forward, I'm looking forward to how I can be the best I can be to support the 2025 year in ways that we can't even imagine yet. And I'll end by saying all of us should be prepared, as difficult as it might be, to let go of everything we did yesterday. Everything. Because the new environmental conditions may say, no, that was yesterday. That's it. That's all I got. Hello?
Are we frozen?
Not
Can y'all
sure.
hear me?
Y'all.
You can now? Okay, good, good,
Yeah.
good. Yeah. We said Happy New Year. Yeah, so yeah, I think that was a great place for us to end it. Thank you so much, Kepra, for joining today and coming together to do a little bit of reflection and envisioning. Thank you to anybody who's watching the recording of this or the live stream of this for tuning in and reflecting with us. And I hope that your 2024 was as fruitful as ours. And I hope that your 2025 is the same. If you'd like to support the work that we do here, and see all of the successes and lessons that we gain in 2024, if you'd like to see us grow and build on those things in 2025, as we've said a few times, visit donate.kepra.org and leave us a donation. Everything helps. Visit newsletter.kepra.org. Sign up for our newsletter to stay up to date on everything that we got going on, month to month, including topics for these mumbo jumbo conversations. Go to alchemy.kepra.org and join our virtual Alchemy Plus platform. And yeah, that's everything I can remember to shout out right now.
What about the recording?
Oh, and yes, and thank you as always to the Indianapolis Recorder for being a longtime partner in our Mumbo Jumbo initiative, and also just a standing pillar in the community here in Indianapolis. So, yeah, thanks everybody. Great talk. See y'all at the next one.
All right, take care.
Thanks, y'all. Peace. Dinner will